Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly an uncomfortable silence took over the atmosphere? Or perhaps in the middle of a gathering with friends, a wave of sadness hit you without warning, as if a grey veil came between you and everyone else's joy. It's not paranoia, it's not a coincidence, it's something much more real than we think, something that has woven its threads into the invisible space we all share. We are talking about negative energy, that subtle presence that we have all felt at some point, clinging to our skin, our mood, our peace. The world we see is only the most superficial layer of reality. Behind the tangible, there exists an ocean of vibrations, a field of forces where emotions and thoughts leave a mark as real as a footprint in the sand. Just as the air carries the scent of flowers or the smoke from a fire, it also carries the heaviness of a recent fear, the bitterness of an argument, or the density of unresolved anguish. That's why, sometimes, your body knows a space is charged even before your mind can find the words to explain it. But here is the secret that ancient traditions knew and that our modernity often forgets: that energy does not belong to you. It is not an eternal condemnation. It is an unwanted visit, yes, but its duration is limited to your permission. And the most liberating part is that revoking that invitation does not require complex rituals, hours of meditation, or the intervention of a master. The power to dissolve it resides in an act as simple and profound as breathing. Within you exists an innate light, a vital force that is more powerful than any shadow you encounter on your path. This journey we are embarking on now is a reminder of that power, a map for you to reclaim your space, your clarity, and your vibration in just 60 seconds. Imagine for a moment that every day, without realizing it, you walk through fine emotional cobwebs. They cling to you, layer upon layer, until suddenly you feel heavy, irritable, exhausted without any apparent physical reason. What would happen if you never washed your hands, if you never took off your sweaty clothes? The same thing happens on the energetic plane. Inner cleansing is not an esoteric luxury. It is a need as basic as hydrating or feeding the body. It is an act of spiritual sovereignty, of remembering that this space, your body and your mind, is your sacred territory. And the wonder is that you carry the temple with you everywhere, and the master key is your own breath. This understanding that we are immersed in a field of invisible forces is not a new age invention. It is a truth that the most ancient and wise civilizations articulated with surprising clarity. The sages of ancient India spoke of prana, the vital energy that permeates everything. They understood that illness and sadness were, in essence, a blockage or a contamination of this vital flow. Their medicine was conscious breathing, mantras and meditation, tools designed to restore the natural current of life. On the other side of the world, the Taoists in China described a cosmic dance between yin and yang. Harmony was the natural state, and heavy or negative energy was simply an imbalance in this dance. Their practices, like Qigong and acupuncture, were nothing more than sophisticated methods to readjust the energy, the chi, and expel any stagnation that caused discomfort. In ancient Egypt, priests performed elaborate purification rituals with the elements, convinced that dark influences were like parasites that fed on human confusion and could be cleansed with fire, water, and clear intention. Even in Judeo-Christian traditions we find this concept, though dressed in different language: temptation, the impure spirit, the need for redemption, and prayer to cleanse the soul. The indigenous peoples of the Americas spoke of bad wind, or evil air, a harmful energy that a shaman could extract through chants, dances, and the wisdom of medicinal plants. The fascinating part is the common thread. All these cultures, separated by oceans and millennia, agreed that the human being is a bioenergetic being, constantly interacting with an invisible world, and has the inherent ability to purify and transform their experience. Philosophically, this leads us to a liberating idea. Negative energy is not an invincible monster. It is a passing density, a temporary state like a cloud hiding the sun. The cloud has no power over the sun, it only covers it for a time. Likewise, the shadow seems powerful, but it dissolves instantly the moment you turn on the light. The struggle, then, is not about waging an epic battle against an external enemy, but about constantly remembering how to turn on that inner light. This negative energy manifests in many ways. Sometimes it's a fatigue that settles in your bones for no apparent reason. Other times it's a mind trapped in a loop of repetitive thoughts and worries. Or it can be a weight in the heart, a diffuse sadness that you can't connect to any concrete event. The crucial thing is to understand that not all of this energy is generated internally. We are like sponges. We can absorb the frustration of a coworker, the anxiety of a stranger on the subway, or the heaviness accumulated in a place. Often we strive to solve an emotional burden that was never ours to begin with. Other times, however, we are the architects of our own fog. When we feed resentments, when we ruminate on fear, or refuse to give an outlet to sadness, we are dirtying our own inner river. Imagine your consciousness is a flow of crystalline water. If you throw unprocessed mental and emotional waste into it, the water stagnates, becomes murky, and begins to generate discomfort. That stagnant water is negative energy in its pure state. But just as water can be filtered and oxygenated again, your energy field can be cleaned. It is not a permanent stain, it is just dust accumulated on the mirror of your essence. And a simple act of conscious cleaning is enough for you to reflect the light clearly again. And here lies the secret of liberation in a minute. Most spiritual traditions agree that the most powerful and accessible tool is conscious breathing, combined with a clear intention. Breathing is much more than a biological mechanism. It is a direct bridge between the physical body and the subtle world of energy. Each inhalation is an opportunity to drink from the source of life, and each exhalation is an opportunity to let go, to release, to return to the universe what no longer serves you. The exercise is simple in form but profound in effect. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to the center of your chest, to the place where you reside behind your eyes. Now, inhale deeply, and as you do, imagine you are drawing in a golden, warm, and vivifying light. Feel how this light expands from within outward, filling every corner of your being, illuminating even the smallest cell. Hold your breath for a moment and allow this light to act as a purifying fire. Then exhale slowly through your mouth. Visualize how with the air, all the density, all the heaviness, all the energy that overwhelms you leaves, dissolving into the atmosphere like black smoke carried away by the wind. Repeat this cycle. Inhale light, exhale darkness. Inhale peace, exhale chaos. Inhale presence, exhale distraction. In just a minute of this conscious cycle, something changes. Your shoulders relax, your jaw loosens. The mind that was tangled in 1,000 threads begins to quiet down. This process is so fast because negative energy cannot resist the vibration of full and loving attention. It is like entering a room that has been closed for decades. The darkness seems absolute, but lighting a single match is enough to make it retreat immediately. Your conscious breath is that match. It is always with you. Sometimes the mind is so trapped in the narrative of negativity that it's hard to break free with breath alone. This is where the body becomes your great ally. A powerful technique is to rub the palms of your hands together vigorously and quickly until you generate heat. That heat you feel is not just friction, it is your vital energy being activated, reminding you of the power that resides in the here and now. Bring those heat-charged hands to your face, your heart, or the nape of your neck. This simple gesture breaks the spell of negative thinking because it anchors your awareness back into the sensory reality of the present, the only place where negativity cannot exist, because negativity always lives in the past or the imagined future. The most fascinating thing about all this is that you need nothing external. You don't need a temple, a special crystal, or an expensive amulet. The power already resides within you. It is activated by your intention and manifested through your breath. A minute of mindful attention is enough to interrupt the downward spiral and remind you of your true nature, that you are vaster, more luminous, and more powerful than any passing cloud. We have understood that negative energy can be dissolved with a minute of awareness, but the phenomenon is rich in nuances, and exploring them is to delve into the true art of spiritual mastery. The first nuance is to understand that this energy is not necessarily an enemy. Although we are taught to avoid it at all costs, it can actually function as a silent teacher. Discomfort, tension, anxiety are like the lights on a car's dashboard. They turn on to warn you that something is out of balance. If you ignore the alert, the problem will worsen. But if you listen to the message behind the discomfort, it will be pointing directly to what needs to be healed or transformed in your life. Negativity, then, ceases to be a punishment and becomes a compass. Another crucial aspect is the tendency to carry what is not ours. We are deeply empathetic and connected beings, and we often absorb energy from the environments and people around us. We try to solve a heaviness that does not belong to us, which is a useless waste of energy. That's why when you perform a release exercise, you are not only cleansing yourself, you are practicing energetic justice, returning to the universe what was never yours, so its original owner can take care of it. It is an act of kindness towards yourself and balance for the whole. We must also talk about a spiritual trap, the idea that freeing yourself from negativity means eradicating it forever and living in a state of perpetual peace. That is not only impossible, but it is a goal that generates more frustration. Life is dynamic, it is change, it is contrast. There will be days of light and days of greater density. True power does not lie in pretending the darkness will never return, but in developing the resilience and ability to transmute it quickly when it appears. It is like personal hygiene. You don't stop showering because you know you will sweat again tomorrow. You shower every day as a natural act of care. Energetic hygiene should be the same. A profoundly powerful nuance is to reclaim the role of imagination. Many think that visualizing light or imagining heaviness leaving is a simple mental game, a fantasy. But in the language of the energy field, imagination is as real as programming code. When you visualize with intensity and faith, you are not daydreaming. You're giving a clear order to your mind-body-spirit system. You are communicating the reality you wish to experience in a language it understands perfectly. What the mind can conceive with clarity, the soul can materialize. Finally, we must consider the collective dimension of all this. Negative energy does not only exist on an individual level. It accumulates in families, offices, entire cities. We live immersed in collective fields of fear, anger, or stress. When you take the minute to clean your own field, to raise your vibration, you are doing much more than helping yourself. You are contributing to cleaning a small part of the invisible network that connects us all. Your conscious breathing becomes a silent act of service. When you free yourself from your shadow, you make it easier for others to free themselves from theirs. You are reminding the world by your example that another state of being is possible. Ultimately, negative energy is not an enemy to be destroyed in an epic battle. It is a current, information, a density that can be understood, channeled, and transmuted. The secret is not to run from it, but to cultivate the confidence that, at any moment, you can turn on your inner light. And a spark of conscious light, no matter how small, is always enough to dispel the darkness around it. Knowing you can free yourself in a minute is an immense power. But true mastery goes beyond putting out fires. It's about cultivating a lifestyle that minimizes the accumulation of that density from the start. Just as you don't wait to be completely dehydrated to drink a glass of water, you shouldn't wait to feel completely overwhelmed to take care of your energy. Integrate small rituals into your day. Every morning, before diving into the hustle and bustle, gift yourself that minute of conscious breathing. Make it your first spiritual nourishment. Establish a daily energetic hygiene. When you get home, symbolically shake your hands and arms as if dusting off the day. Take a shower, imagining the water not only cleans your body, but also washes away all heavy or foreign vibrations. Use your body as a tool for liberation. Walk barefoot on the grass, let the earth absorb what you don't need. Dance, jump, shake yourself like an animal releasing stress. Movement disperses stagnation. Pay attention to the words you use, because language creates reality. If you fill your day with phrases like, "I'm exhausted," or "everything goes wrong for me," you are programming your field for density. Instead, choose simple, positive decrees. I am flowing. I feel at peace. Today I choose the light. This is not about denying what you feel, but about consciously choosing where you want to direct your power. Reconnect with nature as often as you can. Trees, the sea, the sun, and the wind are natural and powerful purifiers. Holding a stone, watching a river flow, or simply breathing outdoors can reset your frequency and remind you of your innate capacity for regeneration, just as nature constantly does. We have traveled a fascinating path, from recognizing that subtle shadow to discovering the tools to transmute it in a single minute. What seemed a mystery reserved for initiates is now revealed as a birthright accessible to all. The great teaching is clear and eternal. Darkness never had power of its own. Its only existence depends on the absence of light. And the light, dear viewer, has always been within you. Negative energy, with all its appearance of weight and solidity, is like smoke that dissipates the instant you decide to ignite the fire of your conscious presence through breath, visualization, movement, and clear word. Think about this. How many times have you allowed a bad day at work, an unpleasant comment, or an unfounded worry to govern the next 24 hours of your life? How much power do you give to ghosts that don't deserve a minute of your attention? Now you know you don't need to wait for the weekend, a vacation, or a spiritual retreat. The portal to freedom is just one breath away. This knowledge transcends technique. It is a declaration of spiritual sovereignty. You are not a passive victim of your environment, the people around you, or the circumstances you encounter. You are a lighthouse, a conscious emitter of energy, capable of radiating calm and clarity even amidst external chaos. And when you choose to do so, when you take that minute to reclaim your vibration, the effect doesn't stay with you. Your breath becomes medicine for the collective. Your calm becomes a tacit refuge for those around you. Your elevated light contributes in a silent but profound way to balancing the frequency of the entire planet. Life, of course, will continue to present you with challenges, uncomfortable encounters, and gray days. We cannot control the external weather, but we can always choose our internal weather. That choice is the very essence of freedom. It is deciding over and over again whether to give your energy to the shadow or to reclaim it for the light. Every minute you take away from negativity is an act of sacred rebellion, a reminder that you did not come into this world to drag chains of foreign heaviness, but to spread the wings of your own luminous potential. So the next time you feel that familiar weight, don't fear it, don't fight it. Simply remember, breathe, visualize the light, move your body, utter a kind word to yourself. Because the minute you choose to give to yourself could be the portal that transforms a heavy day into a light one, an anguished heart into a serene one, and a tired spirit into a renewed and free one.